What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Viking Craft Studios, and just starting off this video here. Let me start the bike up. Welcome to probably the first episode in the Lowlight series. We are in one of the darkest parts anywhere near my house, which is Black Hut, Rhode Island. We're in northern Rhode Island, it's part of Burrville. And we're going to go around Spring Lake today. And then down one of my favorite roads. I believe it's called 98. It's just a really strong, straight, smooth road. Very dark. So this is going to be the ultimate test of, like I said, this Lowlight series that I want to do. So we just entered Black Hut a minute ago, and up the road we're going to take a left and to Spring Lake Road, and we're going to go around the lake. As you can kind of probably tell, we're in blue hour right now, so the sun just set and it's getting dark very rapidly. Let me actually put on my lights. There we go. So now we have some fog lights on. So these things are pretty bright. I'm going to do a separate video on these things by themselves because they're kind of like a really cheap, affordable alternative, and they have like directional lenses so you don't like blind drivers and stuff. So they're pretty nice. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's a little chilly tonight. We're down in the 50s, so it's definitely cooler than what I would love. Like if I were to pick a temperature right now with the sun down, it'd probably be like 70. It's definitely cooler than that, but it's not too bad. I usually really love riding with like a sweatshirt with like a leather cut underneath it, and today I actually got my leather jacket on, so I'm not that cold. As you guys can also see in front of me, is the shield is still on here because of the temperature drops at night. During the day, it's warm enough right now to ride without it, but at night it's still pretty cool. 50 doesn't sound too bad until you're kind of cruising around, and then it does get a little chilly. So having the shield just kind of blocks some of that wind and makes it just a little bit more comfortable. I remember when I got this bike, that was the first thing I actually did. I took the shield right off of it because I didn't like how it looked. And you really come to love it in time. You're like, you know what, like this is nice to have for the colder riding nights and riding days and stuff. Definitely get you another 8 weeks or so out of the year easily. And then I think I mentioned in another video, unless you're like a psychopath like me and Metal Kitten, it has a lot more than that. But you know, it's one of those things that you know, like we're gonna talk about like some of this riding in New England stuff tonight. And it is cool here, and it does suck. There's other YouTubers and motovloggers that ride in cold temperatures, and it's not fun. You know, I do not like riding in the rain. I mean, I've been stuck in the rain many of times. I don't like it. It's not my favorite thing. I don't like riding in the freezing cold. I'd much rather it be warm. You know, I know my friends down in Florida, they're probably like 50. Holy shit. They're like, fuck that. They much rather be in, you know, 80 degree and 90 degree with like crazy humidity and stuff, which, yeah, I agree. I much rather have that high temps, be stuck in traffic in really high temps as opposed to being cold. We've done some really, really cold trips before. There's two that come to mind for me, and they were the most miserable times. They were not enjoyable. The only positive thing that came out of it is you become a way better biker from taking a really hard trip like that. There was one time I went to go surprise Metal Kitten. She was at a pole dancing class, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes away, and it was like 30 out. You know, I put all the leather on. Obviously you got flannels, you're layered up to all hell. And to be honest with you. It was like with 10 minutes into the ride, I was already regretting it. It was really brutally cold. That one was just so cold that it was really miserable, and it hurt. It hurt. The other really cold one was, believe it or not, our first big bike ride up to New Hampshire. A couple of years ago, we do Bike Week, which is coming up here again this year, next month. So I'm pretty excited about that, to be honest with you. I'm really amped to go up to New Hampshire with the bike again. And we try to do it. We go up with like a couple people. We get like the Airbnb and all that fun stuff, and it's just a really good time. But the first year we went up there, we're at the Airbnb, and we were fortunate. We had great weather all the way up the whole time we were there, and the weather turned. You're on a bike, so you're kind of keeping an eye on it. And the next day was supposed to be complete torrential downpours, completely up and down the East Coast. It was going to be really crazy. Not even rideable, like just completely downpouring buckets and dogs all the way from where we were staying to all the way home, which is about 5 hours of riding. There was just no way we were going to do that. So we ultimately kind of bit the bullet and decided to leave that night before and get home the night before. So we cut our vacation a day short, which was not fun, but it was needed. And whoa, it's bumpy over here. It was very, very needed. We went ahead and we rode home at night, and up in the mountains it's cold, so you're definitely bundling up. I did not have the shield. We rode up there without it. I did not have a full helmet. I had clear glasses and a half helmet. This is before Caitlin got her bike, or Metal Kitten got her bike, and she was on the back. So I had to ride in the really cold temps. It was probably about 40 in the mountains, and then once we got to the mountains, it ended up being about 50, pretty much the whole way home. But without a shield, it was cold. And you're stopping a few times for gas and stuff too. And we had another buddy with us that also rode back that night, and we were really cold. we were not happy about it. But the next day, the weather had just been so insanely bad. I remember Middle Kitten's brother was driving back the next day to drop off our stuff, and he was like, "Thank God you guys left, because there's no way you would have made it." Like, it was hard to drive inside the car. Never mind being in the bike. So we made the right call, but it was a cold ride home. And we usually do this last hurrah dinner, and we go to like a steakhouse, and we get like a really nice steak as a group and everything, and it was just really, really nice. But not gonna lie, like after eating a nice steak, the last thing you want to do is really sit in the real cold for several hours to get home. And it was not a good time, but we made it safe. And I will say, kind of cheers to Metal Kitten being on the back of the bike, because she literally could have stayed behind and not had to suffer through that, and she could have just rode home with her siblings to get back to our back to drop off at home. But she was she's kind of like a ride or die. She's all in. She's kind of like, I'm not gonna let you suffer it alone. Being on the back, I mean, I definitely blocked a lot of the wind for her, but it was not fun for either of us. It was pretty much put in the earbuds and just, grind it home. I had the half helmet, so I didn't even have like the Cardo or anything. I pretty much just had to suffer with like these tiny little gas station earbuds that we had grabbed. Yeah, this is called 96. I said 98 earlier. 96. It's an awesome road. It's really smooth here, and just a really calm ride. But we made it. So it was fun. So I think between that ride of surprising her at her class with dinner, which was ice cold by the time I got there, and then that really ride home from New Hampshire, those are the two of the hardest rides, and yeah, definitely made me a better biker for sure. But it's tough. It's tough in the north, man. You know, it's it's really unpredictable in New England. The weather is not super consistent. Like, if you look at the weather and for 5 days it says it's sunny, it's not going to randomly rain. It's going to be pretty sunny, but temperatures they fluctuate quite a bit. So during the day here today, it was 77, and then now it's 50. So, you know, you're talking a 27-degree difference on a part of the year that's just kind of on the calm side. You know, it's not even like you know, in the fall or the spring too much, where, I mean, it's springtime, but it's not like the beginning of spring where like it can really drop. You know, we have some days here where we get 40-degree changes, and that's the norm. So if you go out riding like we are right now, and you know, you dress a certain way and the sun's out and it's nice and warm, you really have to make sure that you're preparing with like, not just like a sweatshirt on board, but you need to bring your jacket, you need to bring a helmet, you need to bring all that stuff, just so you're not suffering to get around, because it can really suck. The other thing was, I don't really have, I would say, the best of gear. We definitely are budget motorcycle riders. We have all the crazy camera equipment, but we don't have like heated jackets and heated grips and gloves and all that. Like, I'm using mechanic gloves right now. They are insulated gloves, but there's a slice down them for me working on stuff. So the wind's just going straight up my jacket. I really think that with me making the channel more serious and going to be doing a lot more riding, that investing in some gear is going to be pretty much important to be able to ride longer, safer, more comfortable. So that's the plan. But to get back to the original point of this, yeah, riding in the north is tough. Riding at night in the north is even harder. Right now, if you guys can kind of see on the horizon, there is a little, very, very slight blue hue that's left. And just at the very bottom of the horizon, there's like a tiny bit of that orange glow just bouncing off the atmosphere from where the sun went down. So it's definitely nighttime. This area that I'm in is very dark. There's very few street lights. You can see right here, there's one coming up. And it's just at an intersection. So it gets dark here very quickly. We go fishing over here quite a bit, actually, around top. This is a great little area to go fishing. Have not been there this year, actually, so gotta check that out. And the funny thing is, coming up on my right over here, is it's not this house, it's not this one, I believe it's the second one. The next house on the right is the Conjuring house. So if you've ever seen like the Conjuring movies, this is where it all happened. I believe it's this one. Can't really see it, but yeah, there's like surveillance. Actually, it might be this next one. They have signs usually about surveillance and stuff. But yeah, it's one of these houses over here. It's hard to tell at night because it's so dark. But yeah, where all the creepy paranormal stuff happened and everything. This is this is where it happened. So you know, once upon a time that Annabelle doll was right over here. So yeah, cheers. It's actually right here. This is the one. Yeah, they've got signs everywhere saying that it's under surveillance, don't trespass, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's a couple houses in, I know, from where we go fishing. But, yeah, I guess, like, just a whole bunch of stuff. And there's constantly, it seems like it's being sold. So, I don't know if it's just because, you know, nobody wants to live there, or if it's like flipping it for a profit. I know at one point there was like other, just recently anyway, other paranormal investigators or activity investigators had bought it and was gonna turn it into like an Airbnb or something. And like me and Metal Kitten are pretty crazy. In upcoming vlogs or in my past vlogs and stuff like that, you'll see our apartment's like full with like bones and skulls, and it's all like, you know, macabre decor. And we're very much into like the hunting and everything else. And I'm not so sure that me or her would want to stay there as an Airbnb. I mean, granted, I think it would make an interesting vlog, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to do that overnight. And the funny thing is, I actually have a camera I want to try this year coming up on the bike for at night. It's like a GoPro. It's an action camera, but it's an IR camera. And I think it's originally intended for hold on a second, guys. I think I might have lost something. Trying to check my equipment. I think we're good. Everything's still on. I lost my my little foam piece went flying. It holds the camera from bouncing so much. That sucks. I knew I got a better bracket for that. Geez, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know if the GoPro thing. So like, I have an IR action camera. So basically, I think it's originally made for like ghost hunting. Sorry guys if the footage is jumping around now. This is why I had that little piece. So that way it was, you know, a little bit more steady. But I have an idea to kind of make a little bit more of a permanent solution to keep it from vibrating so much. So that is something I'm going to be working on. But yeah, I want to use that on the bike because it films. It has like an IR light on it, and it can film in IR, but it also can like film kind of like during the day and stuff too, and look pretty normal. So like, I could do it at night as like a frontal, you know, facing me camera, and even though without without having a bright light shining in my eyes, blinding me, you guys would be able to see me pretty clearly. So I think that would be cool. The other thing is, like, I could always get like IR fog lights and stuff like that and put them on the bike and be able to ride and stuff, but my actual headlight turns on when my bike turns on, so it would be challenging. But yeah, it's pretty cool. That is something I want to try for the channel as well. But I wanted to come out, show you guys at night some of these backcountry roads and how dark they are. Having like the red equipment for filming and also riding can like make all the difference for the experience up here in the north. But yeah, we're coming to the end of the road here. We're going to be turning around shortly, so I'm gonna end the video here because it's probably getting pretty winded, and I'm gonna catch you guys back here on the next one. And I hope you guys have a great evening, ride safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Have a good night.